Thresholds. We cross them every day from room to room, from outside to inside and back again, from here to there, from anywhere to everywhere, from age to age. Each threshold offers an opportunity for change, for renewal, for transformation from what we were and what we are to what we can be. In this hour and in this place, we cross a threshold from our day-to-day everydayness into space and time attuned to the other, to the sacred, to the holy, into an awareness of new life pregnant with possibilities. How will we be renewed in this moment? How will we be changed by this hour? How will we be transformed through this gathering of beloved community? Come, you longing, thirsty souls, come and let us gather together. Those words by Arlen Goff. Sorry. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome. I'm the Reverend Susan Milner. My pronouns are she, her, and hers, and it is my pleasure as well as my privilege to serve this congregation. Sundays off are a wonderful thing, but I'm always a little surprised when I come back how glad I am to be with you and to be in the space again. We gratefully acknowledge the Patuxet Wampanoag people on whose ancestral lands we gather today. We commit to support and honor their culture. We welcome all of you, members and friends and newcomers today, including, of course, those of you joining us online through Zoom. We're so glad that you can be part of us in that way, whoever you are, wherever you are, physically or on your spiritual journey. For this 1 hour, we consider you and want you to be part of this congregation. Now then, everyone is invited to coffee hour following our morning service activity, and that's through this hall and down in the large room at the end of that wing. If you're visiting and you come to coffee hour, take a red mug so that we can warmly welcome you. This morning is different, and for anybody who might be a newcomer this morning or a second-time visitor, this is a very different morning than we usually have. This morning we're having a very short service, and then we're going to be breaking into groups as part of our transition work to consider who this congregation wants to become in the future. You're all welcome to join a group if you want. If you're brand new and you don't know what the heck's going on, I'd be glad to talk with you during that time as well. Allergy season. So, the Soul Singers are going to lead us in Song O River by Ma Muse, which is in, the words are in your order of service.
And this is a two-part song, so we'll teach it to you both parts. And then, if you like, you can choose whichever part you like. And I have a group that's doing one part that will be here, and a group doing the other part over here. But you can switch parts if you want. One thing I should mention when we're doing Finding My Way, Finding My Way, Finding My Way, you have a little hesitation between the finding and my way, and it gives you that nice beat to it. Do you want people up? Or sit down? Okay, ready? Go. Finding my way, 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 finding my way back home. Finding my way, 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 finding my way back home. Do it again. Finding my way, 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 finding my way back home. Finding my way, 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 finding my way back home. Here's the next part, Vincent. Oh, river, I hear you call.
Would our ushers come forward or our chalice lighters come forward, please, from our transition team? I apparently, even though Ed's off today, I apparently forgot to take the doxology out. I think we'll skip doing that without the... What do you think? Skip it.
Let this flame be to us a symbol of the wholeness we seek. Its glow reminding us of the sacred bonds that link us to all living things.
Its radiance calling us to cast the light of freedom, justice, and peace upon the world. And PJ Simeon, who is also on our transition team, is going to offer a reading this morning.
Morning. The church is not a place, it is a people. The church is not only a steeple above the tree-lined streets and cars, rather, it is a people proclaiming to the world that we are here for the work of healing and justice. The church is not walls built stone upon stone, held together by mortar, but rather person linked with person linked with person. All ages and genders and abilities. A community built on the foundation of reason, faith, and love. The church is not just a set of doors open on Sunday morning, but the commitment day after day and moment after moment of our hearts creaking open the doors of welcome to the possibility of new experience and radical welcome. The church is not simply a building, a steeple, a pew. The church is a gathering together of all people and experiences, and fear and love and hope in our resilient hearts. Gathering, however we can, to say to the world, welcome, come in, lay down your heartache, and pick up love and hope. For the church is us, each and every one of us together, a beacon of hope to this world that so sorely needs it.
The thing that we most want to collect from you this morning are your thoughts and your hopes and your dreams about the future, which we will be doing in the second part of this morning's gathering. We also would be glad to receive your pledge payments, your offerings of the day. If you haven't made a pledge yet, you can do that. We are grateful for all that you bring to the service. The morning offering will now be gratefully received. Oh, and we don't have music. Our video has gone haywire. The audio, we were going to play the video, sound, music. So just enjoy each other during this time. Are we all done collecting? Great. During the quiet musical interludes in worship services here, my eyes often gravitate to that window, that last one on the south wall. The quality of the light, the clarity of the glass, the rise of the trees beyond. It's, for me, a very meditative confluence, even a passage to past and future. What, I wonder, did a minister here during the Civil War times up here in the pulpit think that the future would bring? Did a joyous congregant in a pew whose son was returning from World War II alive believe that peace had come for good? What will a future minister contemplate if the democracy is gasping, or if a human being has landed on Mars, or a cure from some cancer has been developed? How will people be worshiping here in 50 years? When will the pews swell, and why? During this first year of ministerial transition, we've reflected on who the congregation is now, who we've been in the past few decades, and now it's the time to anticipate who it might become. Next fall, you'll be meeting with your ministerial search committee about what you want in a minister. But today is about who you want and need to become as a congregation. Not because there's anything wrong with you, but because change is the norm. You have changed in ways none of us probably even see in the past few months, just because it is a transition. And of course, you have also stayed the same. It's not either or ever. How will we change? That's always the question. Who will we choose to become? And so now, after this, we're going to break you into small gatherings, and the facilitator will ask you 3 questions. We hope everyone who wants to will offer thoughts, and we ask that you listen as deeply as you can to one another, and without judging or debating, but just absorbing the multiplicity of responses. We want you to leave understanding how complex and rich the needs and dreams and enthusiasms of people at First Parish are. The first question is, what do you love about First Parish that you want to hold on to in the future? Maybe it's what you see as the fundamental purpose of the congregation, or something in the worship service that makes your heart go to that holy place, or an experience that your child has here, an act of service to the larger community. The second question is, what would you like to see strengthened or changed? Our aim here isn't to solicit critique so much as to tap vision. What could you be enthusiastic about? What can make this community more special for you? And finally, we want to ask you to step back from your own personal wants and preferences and reflect on reality. As we've talked about, cultural participation in religious communities has decreased, especially among younger generations. We live in a world of entertainment on demand and a great deal of social turmoil. Congregations are in hard times, yet some flourish. Some flourish. And some young people become committed next generation Unitarian Universalists when they find a community that lives their values and welcomes their presence and listens to their voices. So how do we make sure we're one of those congregations? How do we keep our congregation simultaneously a place of belonging for our wise and valued elders and midlifers? Of course, you can't find magic wands or come close to answering all these questions, but this is a time to share the thoughts you have. We will listen. So now I'm going to ask our transition team members to come forward, and those members of the board who have agreed to be either facilitators or scribes for these small groups. Let me tell you where the 3 groups will be, and except that we know Meredith needs to be in the hall, you can go otherwise where you want. There are 3 groups in the hall, 1 in the parlor, 3 downstairs, 1 in the youth room when you go down and hit the bottom of the stairs, the youth room on the left, and also the 2 rooms on the right downstairs, not the chapel, which our kids are downstairs for the whole time today. All right, Jim, I'm going to hand it over to you to do your magic. Oh, and I needed to add that Barb Clark is going to be in coffee hour when that moment comes. Next week we have an informational, no, is that right? Yeah, next week we have a special meeting to vote on a bylaw change. It's a simple bylaw change to make the search committee make it more attainable to actually have a search committee. Bob Clark has information about that. We'll answer questions, and be sure you come to vote in that quick meeting next week.
All right, here we go. I counted, I think, 42 or so people out there. I'm presuming most everyone is going to participate. Since we want groups of 8, that is probably, what's my math, 5 or so? So let me see. Why don't you step, or Meredith, why don't you step forward? We have you as the number 1 group. Number 2 actually is going to be our folks who are on Zoom. So Ted will be with you. He recommends that you just stay online, and then you can become part of that. Who wants to be our next? Maybe you're 3. How about number 4? What do we say? How many groups? 5? 5 groups or so. You want to be one, PJ? Or you're a scribe? Okay. I'll be a scribe as well. So what I'm going to ask people to do is to count off by 5. I'll start you up, and then our facilitators will hold their numbers high, and you can follow them. 3 of those groups will go into the assembly hall, and then I think we can use the parlor and, well, actually somebody could stay here as well if they wish to. So we'll do this like gym class. We're going to count off by 5s. Remember your number. Oh, that's a good point. We gave Zoom the second number. Just skip 2. All right, we're going to do that again. So it's going to be 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's how I'm going to count. Thank you very much, my dear wife. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. One of you come forward and take 6 there. No, I think if we're inside, we're all inside. We still need those. So you were a 6, right? 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lois, are you participating? You're a 1, 3, 4, 5. All right. 6. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 3, 4, 5. 6. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And the challenge is, does everybody remember their number now? All right, so let's say that 1 is definitely going to the assembly hall. How about 4 goes to the assembly hall and 3 goes to the assembly hall? How about you just follow your number person? All right? We got a 6 here. Does everybody have a scribe? Okay, we haven't. Go to the assembly hall. Yeah.